Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei recently delivered a wide-ranging and pointed speech, outlining his perspective on the ongoing crisis in Syria following the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's government. Speaking to a gathering of Iranian officials, clerics, and regional allies, Khamenei accused the United States and Israel of orchestrating the Syrian conflict to destabilize the region and weaken what he termed the Resistance Front, a coalition of nations and groups aligned against Western and Israeli interests in the Middle East. His remarks shed light on Tehran's assessment of the unfolding geopolitical shifts and its resolve to maintain its influence despite the setbacks. Khamenei asserted that the Syrian crisis was the result of a calculated conspiracy devised by Washington and Tel Aviv. He claimed the West, along with its regional allies, sought to dismantle Syria's role as a critical node in the resistance front. According to Khamenei, this plan included funding and arming opposition groups, spreading propaganda, and creating divisions within Syrian society to weaken its unity. The supreme leader framed this as part of a broader strategy to fragment the Middle East into smaller, more manageable states that could be easily controlled by Western powers. While he refrained from naming specific countries, Khamenei implied that certain regional actors, likely referring to Turkey and Gulf nations, played a complicit role in exacerbating the conflict. He suggested these nations either actively supported armed factions or facilitated the destabilization of Syria through financial, logistical, and political means. Khamenei's remarks come amid strained relations between Iran and Turkey, as both nations have pursued competing agendas in Syria. While Tehran backed Assad, Ankara supported rebel factions, leading to a divergence in their respective strategies and priorities. The supreme leader also addressed concerns about the weakening of the resistance front in light of Assad's ouster. Dismissing such fears as premature, Khamenei argued that the resistance movement remains resilient and capable of adapting to new challenges. He portrayed the fall of Assad not as a defeat but as a phase of transformation, during which the movement must recalibrate and strengthen its alliances. Khamenei reaffirmed Iran's commitment to its regional allies, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, and expressed confidence in their ability to counteract external threats. Khamenei's speech was notable for its defiant tone and emphasis on regional sovereignty. He called on Middle Eastern nations to reject foreign interference and prioritize dialogue among themselves to resolve conflicts. He warned that continued reliance on Western powers would only lead to further instability and exploitation. Highlighting the importance of unity, Khamenei urged regional governments to recognize the shared threats posed by external actors and work collectively to safeguard their sovereignty. The supreme leader's remarks also touched on Iran's role in post-conflict Syria. He pledged Tehran's support for reconstruction efforts, emphasizing the need to rebuild Syria's infrastructure, economy, and governance structures. Khamenei stressed that Iran's involvement would not be limited to material assistance but would also include strategic guidance to ensure that Syria remains aligned with the resistance front. He underscored the importance of preventing external powers from exploiting Syria's vulnerabilities during this critical period. Khamenei's address comes at a time of heightened uncertainty and shifting power dynamics in the Middle East. The sudden collapse of Assad's regime has upended long-standing alliances and left a power vacuum in its wake. For Iran, which invested heavily in supporting Assad, these developments represent a significant challenge to its regional influence. The loss of a key ally in Damascus complicates Tehran's ability to project power and maintain its supply lines to Hezbollah and other proxies in the region. The broader implications of Assad's fall extend beyond Iran's immediate concerns. The power vacuum in Syria has attracted the attention of multiple regional and international actors, each seeking to shape the country's future in line with their own interests. Turkey, for instance, has already expanded its military presence in northern Syria, while Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states have sought to assert their influence through diplomatic and financial means. Meanwhile, Western powers, including the United States and European nations, continue to monitor the situation closely, wary of the potential for renewed instability and the resurgence of extremist groups. Despite these challenges, Khamenei's speech projected confidence in Iran's ability to navigate the evolving landscape. He highlighted the ideological and strategic cohesion of the resistance front as a key advantage over its adversaries. By contrast, he described the Western alliance as fragmented and beset by internal contradictions, pointing to disagreements among NATO members and shifting priorities in Washington as evidence of declining Western unity. International reactions to Khamenei's remarks have been mixed. Some analysts view his speech as an attempt to deflect attention from Iran's own role in the Syrian conflict, which has been widely criticized for exacerbating the war and contributing to civilian suffering. Others see it as a calculated effort to rally domestic and regional support in the face of mounting challenges. In either case, Khamenei's comments underscore the high stakes involved in Syria's post-Assad era and the complex interplay of interests that will shape its future. For the Syrian people, the collapse of Assad's government marks the beginning of a new and uncertain chapter. The challenges of rebuilding a nation ravaged by war, addressing deep-seated divisions, and establishing a stable and inclusive government are daunting. As external powers continue to vie for influence, the prospects for lasting peace and stability remain uncertain. In the coming months, Iran's role in shaping Syria's future will be closely watched. Khamenei's pledge to support reconstruction efforts and maintain Syria's alignment with the resistance front signals Tehran's intent to remain a key player in the region. However, achieving these goals will require navigating a complex web of political, economic, and security challenges, both within Syria and on the broader regional stage. For now, Khamenei's speech serves as a reminder of Iran's determination to maintain its influence and its vision for a Middle East free from what it perceives as Western and Israeli domination.